Hello everyone. Nikhil, if I will accept your request, then how will I bring Albert live? Come on, have a heart. Hi Danish, hi everyone. Can you hear me guys? Uh, Hi Kiran, hi Ria. Can you hear me? Hi left. Hi Lieutenant. Please tell me if you can hear me. Somebody can give me a thumbs up or some field signal, something. Or say somebody can write Chhatri Mata Ki Jai. Or if I say how's the Josh, you can write hi sir. Good. Yeah, they're flying photons. By the way, you guys have got interesting names. I was just trying to reply, and I hope I have replied to each one of you. Submitted the caption. That was an amazing thing, and I'm overwhelmed with the response what I got with you guys. It was actually too much heartwarming for me. It was something like we have got our own, I'll say, community, where we are acknowledging each other and inspiring each other. You guys inspire me in many ways, and I always try to be responsive and and reply. But sometimes I'm also new to Instagram. First of all, I'm just clueless, and today I found out that around more than 100 people have already have sent me messages which I am supposed to accept. Then only will be I can reply to them. So I will be replying. I will make my wholehearted effort to reply, and I had replied to each comment people who had submitted the caption. I am waiting for Albert. He is like me, a novice when it comes to Insta Live and other technology platforms. But by the way, meanwhile, some people had got some questions. They have been writing to me, to increase the live sessions. I think so. Let Albert join. Before that, what I will say, there are many live sessions which is being, which you guys can take benefit from. Dharam is awesome. He is doing a phenomenal job when it comes to inspiring, motivating, sharing experiences. So there is this. Then Romil sir is an amazing person. Okay, Albert is here. Let me bring on live. And then Rudrashish is there. Vijay sir is there. I help.
Thakur, you got so engrossed in the conversation. I've been trying to reach out to you like 3 times now. I had to disconnect. I had to come back again, disconnect.
And I was and here I was trying to tell people, like
That
me,
I'm
Albert is
novice.
a novice. See, I was trying to make numbers out of you not being there. But I forgot that. Come on, you are into something AI and all those things, which we will talk in the later part of our conversation. You need to put your camera a little bit down, just angle it down a little bit so we can see more of you. And yeah, now that's it.
Well,
Good. Don't let that guitar go from the background, because it's a story also there with
oh
that
yeah,
guitar.
yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah, guys. So Albert, already three minutes I have overshooted.
Yeah.
We will continue. I think so. It will go beyond 1 hour for sure. I know. But what I was telling, people have been asking me, to conduct more live session and all. Look, I'm trying to. I told them that Dharam is doing an awesome job. Romil sir from 21 is doing an awesome job. Vijay sir is doing an awesome job. Then Rudrashish, he is inspiring because he's from Senate School, then NDA, and then now then in forces, and then now out. He's doing an amazing job. Since ninth, I think so. Myself and Jacob had our last session, first session. That was my first live, and post that, Jacob has, is like a fire now, and he
He's
has
fine.
been inspirational in his way. Yeah, and he brought he the one thing which still resonates to me, that ki karam wo karo jo karna hi follow. It's so full in itself.
Absolutely.
You should live what you enjoy. You should do what you enjoy, and then itself it becomes life becomes so exciting. So and then last week on 21st, 2 days back, Mean Bahadur Thapa from 21,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was there.
It's part of
So
Claw.
so much is happening, guys. So don't worry. Don't look for me only. There are inspiring people, amazing people who have been doing, and bringing things to you. I will make sure that I come live, and you know what? This is crisis time, and during this crisis time, these special so-called special guys, it's difficult to find them, and get them. Like in the last session, you see Jacob was involved doing so many things, mountaineering, deep sea diving, and even making bed. And you know what? In this crisis time, Albert was doing. He was also busy in doing something special. I think he was sipping a beer on somewhere on the beach of Kochi. Come on, Al. Uh, Nothing.
Come
Okay.
on,
No,
man.
no. I was just trying to pull your
Yeah.
leg. I know. But thanks, Albert. Now coming back. So I have done maximum. I think so. I've already completed 70% of my talking. So in next 1.5 hours, all which is left is you will be talking, just to set the context and just to little bit about you. Tell about you, Captain Albert. Again, a 9 para signals, lot many things. He first of all giving his background, guys. Albert belongs to Kochi. He's a Mallu. Uh, don't you guys see that he looks something like Raghu and Raman from
Oh, please.
Roadies? How many people have told you Albert like this?
Oh, man, I have no idea. I don't even get
Uh,
into that space. Yeah.
don't get into that space, because
Yeah.
that I will touch that also. Don't worry, you guys, you will listen that also. So by the way, he's from Kochi. No one, he like me also. Albert is also, I don't think so there is, in apart from his grandfather who was from forces, otherwise there is no one in his family who is in
No.
who was in any of the forces. I would say Navy, Air Force, and otherwise. By
Yeah.
background, if I say, Albert, if I remember right, you are honors in physics with specialization in computer hardware and networking.
Yeah.
Networking,
Correct.
I do understand networking. I do understand hardware, but how it fits in computer, I am clueless. I will leave it to you. So a kind of technical inti. Then uh, Albert and myself joined academy together in OTA in 2001. No clue about what academy is, what army life is all about, and all other things. But then Albert was commissioned into signals. Signals, again, a technical arm. Let me tell you guys, you will listen a lot about when Albert will be talking, and I've got lot many questions where people are saying, I'm an engineer, I want to join paras and all those shit. You will
Yeah.
get lot
Yeah.
many answers there. And then he is a alumni of St. Albert College, a
Yeah.
college on
It's
your
by
name.
my name.
It's
Yeah.
so easy for you to get, a degree from there. Albert, okay, Albert
Yeah.
College, a good one. So, but that is there. What also I will tell about now, in a background, that he was a naval NCC cadet in college days, and also guitar in the background shows that he was a music. He was a guitarist, and something about that. So let me stop here, Al. Why don't you give something about the background, what I have not spoken, or what people you would like to tell about yourself, apart from those fear factor that will come later, D3 Commando that will come later, all those parachute, just as L as a person who was there before all this.
So, well, Thakur, my background comes from a very simple and straightforward life. Like most of the people in this country live. My mother was a nurse, and she spent upward of 30 years as a nurse, serving people in a hospital. My father used to fix TVs and VCRs back in the days. He used to run a small STD booth. So luxuries never came by. We have had good amount of time to incidents in life where we had to like really struggle through. Like you said, nobody was in the army, and yes, my grandfather was in the army, but that's like it's like some history kind of thing. Nothing to imbibe from, nothing to understand much about. I always wanted to be an Air Force pilot. To be frank, as a kid, I remember when back in the days when you buy Boost, the energy drink, when you buy that, you get these coupons which you can collect, and then you give it, they're going to give you a book which has got more about space and stuff and that. And I was very fascinated about flights and aerodynamics and stuff. And as a kid, I always thought about how aircrafts are, and it always excited me. So growing up, I had a pretty much a rough life in the neighborhood. You always tend to get into the wrong places, and you get into the wrong gangs and wrong, all the words that typically one person would be named as a sort of a black sheep in the family. Like, you're not the one that your cousin should be hanging around with, because you're pretty notorious, and hanging out with you would have a, I know, very bad impact on the other people who are growing, your cousin brothers and stuff. So that is where my life started off with. Moving into college, I wanted to do something, and I joined the NCC. But music was always part of my life. And I stuck on with music. I used to play as a bassist in a death metal band, which nowadays nobody listens to. But yeah, I was a bassist in a death metal band. I can't take the name of the band because it's pretty crazy. So, you have your time when you are into the wrong place, when you are pinned down as the wrong person in the family, the wrong example. And even my professors back in college thought that this guy is doomed. Like, he's never going to make it. He's in the wrong sort of company. He follows a wrong lifestyle. And wherever trouble is, this guy is always there. So my parents also felt the same, to be frank. So there was no hope that anybody pinned down on me. But then again, that is life, right? Life is about, you have suddenly things happen to you. It's okay to be in the wrong place. It's okay to be in the wrong place for some time. But it is not okay to be perpetually stuck in that wrong place. And for me, I've been a romantic, and I was in love with this girl. And my entire image that went along with my whole being in the neighborhood wasn't really helping to get wherever I wanted. So I decided to change my life. I decided to do something interesting. I thought joining the armed forces, to be frank, was one of the best way to redeem myself, and that would help me reach out to the girl's family and stuff. So that's how I wrote for NDA, but you have nobody to guide you. You have no idea what's happening in NDA, what is to be done. So I went and just wrote it. I just got to know that there is an exam coming up. I went and wrote it. And I wrote it, and that's it. I didn't get through. Then CDS came through, and I wrote. And then the first attempt, the rest. So
some memories of your SSB, or did you took coaching, or did you do some preparations, or do what you want a message coming, to people, if they are going, because not many people ask, sir, how to prepare, for the SSB, how to clear it. I just want, for there also a little bit.
So I'll tell you what, because I had not many means, and whether it's financial as well as, today we are on a platform, we are trying to help people who are aspiring to be there. There is some real original source to understand things from the horse's mouth, if you could say. But maybe, I know it is your case also. I didn't have anybody to guide me, and neither did I have the financial support. So not many people told me, who had the means to do it, said you should go to a coaching class. They have these SSB training, and there are these books. I couldn't afford them. So obviously, I didn't have that choice. I was working with Channel V back then. When I got the call letter from SSB, I was on a call with my mom back home from Bombay, and she said, you got a telegram or something. And I asked her, please read it out. So it read out to the SSB. So not many people advise, if you do not have a coaching, there is no way you can look at it. But see, when you don't have things, you have to figure out how to go about things. So I caught a train, and I came back to Cochin to prepare and head out, because there was this, I think they give you a warrant, I don't remember, either a ticket or a warrant which is refundable. So that means you basically have to get yourself on a train. That's all you need to do. That's all the effort that is required. Get on a train and travel. Mine was Bhopal SSB, 22. So I decided that, listen, I don't have the money. I don't know anybody who's going to teach me anything. So luckily for me, I had a friend who had gone to Bangalore SSB and who's a classmate of mine. So since I didn't have any other resources, I reached out to him, and I went and met him. hey buddy, I also got a call letter. I'm going for it. Do you have any advice? He said, dude, I have no freaking clue what they want, what they choose, any idea. But I think stay positive in life. And that's all he said. Be positive. Now, he's not defining, today people talk about ye karna kya hai, wo karna, kaise karna hai. There isn't too many questions. There was only one fundamental thing, that stay positive in life. And I was always positive in life. No matter what shit happened in my life, I was always staying positive. So I went to the SSB without any knowledge, any training, nothing that I could afford. All I had was, hey, I'm not going to pretend you. If it is in my heart, it's going to be out there on my sleeve. And that's all I thought about. And I genuinely gave, sincerely from my soul, whatever was within me, and with a positive attitude. And that's all I remember. And that's it, the first time clear.
And what so now if I say that you did not have resources, I luckily I did the training, coaching, not training, coaching from Bhopal. My
Okay.
board was Allahabad SSB
Yeah.
board, and that was, I also cleared in first attempt. But what you say, like I still feel that if you can afford, and if you have got means and all, like if you cannot do, it's okay, but if you got, I tell people, go for coaching. It's good because you get, okay, what happens, because I was clueless what will happen in SSB. If somebody is there to guide, you can contact. And now there are so many platforms. I will tell people, not many people ask this question, coaching good, no good, but hey, there is nothing wrong. Do coaching, don't do coaching. However, what Albert is saying, be positive, be real, don't be, out of the world context setting or otherwise. More is to be what you are, genuine. It will come out, because it's a very systematic way of 4 or 5 days. If you are clearing, if you are there in SSB, if you clear your screening, kind of a thing. So and I will say that, guys, don't always listen to those who clear in the first attempt. Correct, Albert?
Yeah, absolutely not. I had
Yeah.
guys who were there for the eighth or ninth time, if I remember. And the amount of positivity that that person had, I was like, wow, I want to be like this guy. Fail so many times and still have a smile.
See? Yeah.
That's life, right? It's not necessary you got to make it to an SSB. It's not the end of your life if you're not an army. And people who hold that attitude are the ones who can go ahead, because life will throw different kinds of challenges at you. Speaking of which you're speaking about training, it reminds me of the movie of Rocky. I don't know how many of youngsters have seen this movie here, where the other guy had all the money and training, all the equipment for boxing training, and Sylvester Stallone didn't have anything. He used to be training in the wild, in the wilderness. So it's all about what you want and how badly you want it.
Correct.
It's all about how
What?
deeply you embed that thought process in your heart. It is not so much physical. It has to go multiple layers inside, into your heart and in your soul, that you breathe, you live that, you think about it, and all you're thinking about is from your soul, that this is what I want to do. And I will go any mile, no matter what, no matter how many people let me down, how the world turns against me, I'm going to go for it. I think it's all about that drive in people. And unfortunately, a lot of people think that without that drive, you could get all the other things in place, but still you will not make it. And they feel bad. They feel bad that, hey, I did everything that is systematic. I went for a coaching, I went for X, Y, Z, but why didn't I make it? Perhaps you forgot the basic ingredient. That's your soul.
Yeah, I think so. But that does not mean that if you have not cleared, CDS, or if you are not there, life ends. I will still say,
I absolutely,
So that's good.
absolutely, man.
Yeah. So guys, I think so. A bit what I could take away from there. It's okay to be in wrong place, but it's not okay to be perpetually there. And do put your soul in whatever you are doing. And I think so. Yeah, but you have hit the nail, on the head when you are saying both the things, that you know बुरी आदतें भी अच्छी आदतें होती हैं, but till an extent,
Yeah.
because that will give you a gauge to measure, okay, what is bura, what is bhala, and how it matters a lot. Yeah, that was good. And so like me, you were also clueless about academy, and what you also landed in the mess, directly in the mess, if you remember, uh,
Yeah.
anti
I
room,
have no clue.
anti room.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Same, same.
yeah.
Yeah.
And who was and how was it? uh, you know that we will be divided into companies, Mactila company, Jisami company, Philo. I was clueless.
I have no idea, bro. I didn't even have the money to pay for that, the DD. In fact, I didn't have the money to pay. I was like, yeah, I have a ticket, I'm going to go. So it is written very clearly, you got to take the demand draft and stuff. I went around asking people, hey, can you lend me money for a month? But nobody really helped me with. I think it was just, looking back at it is funny because it's around 7,000, 8,000 bucks. And I told everyone, see, hey, I'm going to get stipend. And I started showing people, just lend me money. I'll give it to you in a month. Nobody gave it. So I didn't have anything. So I was absolutely clueless. This great guy, a naval officer who had retired, a great man, he asked me one day, I said, dude, son, what is happening? I said, sir, I have this, but I don't have this. They said, okay, no problem. He gave me the money. And that's how I went. So I had no idea, bro. So
Okay.
whatever happened
And
is
so,
like, go with the
so
flow.
you were in Jisami 1 and Jisami 2.
I was,
Lost you? You're Jisami?
hello?
I can hear you. Jisami?
Jisami 14.
अच्छा Jisami 14.
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how मतलब स्वागत कैसे हुआ था तुम्हारा कंपनी में? Seniors,
Bye.
you guys had, the SEO was the worst SEO to ever have. I don't unquote me here, but I know the kind of ragadas or the kind of unofficial sessions what you guys had in Jisami were, I think so, talk of the town, talk of the academy.
But Thakur, we might have cursed them completely, left, right, center, while our seniors did whatever they did to us, right? But trust me, that is the only thing and only thing you remember.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, that is, everything has got a purpose. Whether the seniors or whether you're overstudy, whether you're DS or anyone, I think so. So that's there. And and guys, let me tell you, back in academy when we were in first term, second terms, when we were seniors also. But that does not mean that we had all the luxuries. Our instructors, our platoon commanders used to make our life miserable. So I'll say fucking hell kind of a thing. And Albert, myself, we had a small group, and Albert used to play guitar, and we had listened to a lot of Summer of '69s, and those tunes on his guitar in washroom. That used to be our favorite place where we used to sit, in the washrooms, 4-5 of us, having our cigarette and chilling out there. And if I remember, you said during those conversations that you never wanted to join, because we were open with our hearts out there, and you said army was not your first choice. You wanted to go into and join Air Force and all. But I don't remember. You also there was also a story behind that.
So I like I said, like I've been a romantic, and there's a reason why I got my call letter for army first. Let me confess, I got my call letter for army, and the way my life was such a hell, such a wreck that from a place where I small town, there wasn't much left for me to redeem my life. And this is one of those last tickets that you have to save your life kind of thing to redeem, because the kind of bad image I had back home, there was no way to wash away those sins. And something with related defense was like the way I could just just wash my sins, like go to church and confess, and okay, the priest says, okay, son, your sins are washed away kind of thing. So I was my last thing. So easily, right? It's amazing. So easily. And I was in love with this girl, and I didn't know what the hell to do. And it was like, damn, I should just like jump on this, and this is probably my last chance. And the rate at which I was going, I was not going to get out of this misery. So I decided that I'm going to take up whatever has come my way. And I had no clue what the hell to do. I had no clue. So I went in to grab this, and I went off for army. And I had a heartbreak that, I all my life I dreamt about Air Force. But somewhere at the end, when the Air Force thing came through, my senior subaltern, SEO, he came to me and said, He said, Albert, hey, your call letter's come. And believe me, it was like my lifetime dream coming true. So he took that thing and he said, shh, Albert, you're better off in the army. And believe me, brother, back then, when
So
you
your
have, you
boarding
can't,
pass was your
yeah.
boarding pass was
Oh man,
torn
in
into
front of
pieces.
me, no, not just boarding pass, it was my dream. It just like went like this. And he said, you're better off in army. And you know how it is, right? You can't even remember your home address. That's how you are in the first 1 or 2 months.
Yeah.
And today
So
I
the,
look back, I am so
good.
happy he did that. I'm
Uh,
grateful to him. I am so
so
grateful to him.
I got a question, where I had asked people about questions. So, any special nuggets you want to share to out there people listening, those who cleared CDS and coming into or about as who are on the verge already got cleared as tips to survive academy kind of a thing. I say
Hey,
one thing: there is no
so
shortcut.
yeah, yeah. So guys, this is the funny part, right? It's nice that you asked this question, that tips to survive academy. You know what an academy is, at least, right? Imagine us. We had no clue what academy was, what's going to happen to us. I have only one thing to say. When you embark on difficult tasks in life, one of the things that you need to bear in mind is that you might not have a map in hand. And that's what differentiates from the regular people and the explorers when you look at it. They never had anybody to go ahead and tell them how to climb. The first few guys, today, Mount Everest is perhaps the easier thing to climb, frankly, because, no, I'm not saying that. Mount Everest is perhaps an easier thing to climb because it's scaled so many times, it is already understood. There is enough security laid out and processes laid out that you can climb. But a K2 might be a different story. So similarly, if
Absolutely.
you are choosing a profession like this, then forget the damn thing. Forget the damn thing how to survive. Believe me, if I could publish an encyclopedia, or Thakur could publish, or the entire Indian Army could put together and publish an encyclopedia, nothing in the world can prepare you.
No.
What you need is the heart to see that if I've chosen this, then no matter come what may, I will breathe my last, but I will give my best. So if you don't have that, then the rest is all glamour. It's all an illusion that you think you want to be somewhere, but you will never be a part of it from your soul. So I would say, for those who feel that, don't join the army. I am very clear on that. I
Correct.
always tell people who ask me, please don't join the army. If you do not have that drive and that madness and the passion, don't join. So tips to academy is something that I don't have a
I will say
shortcut,
take a
but
leap of faith.
live it.
Take a
Live it yeah, leap of faith. Exactly. It's like you jump. You don't know whether the parachute is going to open, right? You never know. 100 things can go wrong. But you do make that leap of faith. Believing in a system, believing in a process. Similarly, please understand, academy is not there to destroy you or kill you. Academy is there in a very simple function. We all come from different places, but we are in men and women in uniform. We need to come in a uniform box. We have to look the same. We have to do things the same. So it's all about, academy is all about people from different walks of life with different styles of ego and whatever it may be, and learning, all broken down, burned into ashes, and then molded again. So believe the system.
yeah.
Just blindly surrender. You go do bungee jumping. Do you ask him, hey, give me the fitness test of the rope? No, you don't. You go to any place in Dubai or Thailand or Australia, anywhere, and do a skydiving. Are you going to say, hey, give me the entire case history of the? You jump. You jump because you believe the system is there. And army is a system. Navy, Air Force is a system that has been there, guys. It knows what it is. Warfare is an old business. So have that leap of faith. They will build you from scratch.
I
They
know
don't expect
if
you to be Superman in the first day. They will
yeah.
scientifically build you. So
You,
give it
you
up.
remember you remember our camp Pravesh, the first camp, the way we used to fight within each other in the company in the platoon that I am right, even after clearing the SSB, after doing everything. But in the camp was more to break you, fight, let you fight, and then build as a team. And I think I still remember those I'll see the complete camp is still in front of my eyes, where I was fighting with my own buddy that you are not listening to me. We have to do this, and everybody was going on tangent. And then at the end of the camp, Pravesh, within 4 days, we were one unit, one platoon.
Absolutely. And there are things that you don't need to know, firstly.
Yeah.
And believe me, you don't need to know everything, guys. You really don't need to know. Because then what's the point? You already have become a cadet, a soldier, a warrior. You've become everything.
And people
right?
are asking me,
what is there left to learn?
about Marine Warrior also. You are already a paratrooper, or you are already a SF guy.
It's like you join LKG or kindergarten and you think that, I've already achieved graduation and PhD. Let it be. It's an experience. Be well prepared, enjoy it. And it is actually worth enjoying. Right? It's so amazing. Some of the best things in life.
Yeah. And Al, so quickly moving on to you got commissioned into signals. So because you were having honors in physics, and also you were a kind of technical entry for me.
More of a technical, yes, correct.
Yeah. And you opted for signals. And though I last remember one is in academy, you were never, we had a couple of coach mates. You also know the names. They are still serving. We cannot disclose those names. Those were, we used to look as, these guys are for para of peace. They have got everything when it comes to physical fitness, motivation. They are living the walk and talk kind of a thing. And they opted for paras, and they are there in the regiment, in our regiment, and they are doing phenomenally well. Whether I don't want to name the regiment, I don't want to name the officer or the coach mate there, but they were there, and we know, okay, these guys are there, and they will join that. I was a surprise for all the coach mates that Thakur ne kaise join kar liya. I was not. मेरा तो एक अलग ही किस्सा था. You also know how I landed up. That again, दुनिया में जो होता है बहुत अच्छे के लिए होता है भाई. I was lucky that whatever happened that time with academy, I landed in paras. But how come? Or I will say, how come will come later. So what was signal life all about? What I tell people that look, para and SF is, or otherwise, they are not the only one. There are other arms. Everybody, as you said, that everybody has got a role to play, even in the forces also, in the organization. And signal has got a very important, each arms has got a very important, each regiment, whether it is infantry, whether it is, everything. So what was signals or all this technical entry, how it is all about? Or then coming into, I will ask about, from your transition from signal to SF.
So I think my brother, Jacob, had a chat with you on this, and I think he gave an example of doctors and engineers. Let me just take it a little further into this. It's a misnomer that we think that one can stand alone in combat, right? Because when you zoom out, as a foot soldier, you can think that, hey, my world is everything. But when you zoom out, you have to understand the mighty machinery of the armed forces exists because so many people behind, men and women, tirelessly work to make everything work. I wouldn't have a comm system wherever I am, here, there, wherever I may be, which doesn't work if the technology guys didn't work on it. I wouldn't have a vehicle if the electrical and mechanical guys didn't work on it, right? I didn't have a proper ammunition or explosives for the task if the ordnance guys didn't work on it. I wouldn't have transport of the AS didn't work on it. I didn't have the engineers support. So, or the infantry support. So there is nothing we can rule out from this equation. This is a jigsaw puzzle. Yes, you can paint a few things. You can paint a few things. But unless until you put it all, unless until you have all the pieces in place, the portrait is not drawn.
Okay.
And one has to understand that. And yes, we are little cuckoo. We accept that.
Special. And we realize that we are special.
We are a little, we're a little, just gone little here.
Thoda loose ढीला है, yeah.
But in all we crack jokes about all this. But in all,
so how was your life in signals? And I think
so signals is very interesting because back in the time we were dealing with extremely high tech stuff, and we were dealing with electronic warfare, which was amazing. And I can't disclose what it is, but the amount of work those guys were carrying out, of course, it's from a very strategic standpoint, right? It might not impact a foot soldier who's in and around that place, but that is for a national level interest that is happening around.
Yeah.
So technologies that's got to do with anything that today, I mean, look at us. We are on Instagram. If any of all these people here, we take away their phones, they will feel like almost somebody just like took their heart out. Right? They feel handicapped. So, I mean, you and I know, and all our brothers know and sisters know very well that without communication, nothing can happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can have short term, short range, medium range, long range. You could have satellite links. You could have interceptions. You could have ground to ground. You could have ground to air, to aircraft, whatever it is. If people are not talking to each other, it's a chaos.
It's a chaos. It's a
It's a
chaos.
chaos. So communication handles that. It's like a symphony. They orchestrate that. So
Yeah.
my life in signals has been an exceptional learning with technology, and I've always been an ardent follower of the fact that you can train a human being physically, tactically, to a certain extent. What is the difference between you and the Babylonian soldiers? The difference is that technology. They were perhaps better warriors than you and brutal and rough warriors than you. I can look at my men back in 9 and say that, hey, we have trained them to the best of the best and best. And when I walked in, I learned from the best of the best. We were like, tiny little children when you joined them. So those people were like, we look up to them. And what do you do beyond a certain point? You have to augment with technology. And that's what cutting edge armies are doing. And a place like Signals teaches you that kind of stuff. What's behind, what runs to make it all look nice. So for me, it was a nice learning, my time spent there. I had a wonderful CEO, and my transition into 9 was from technology to tactics.
Yeah.
So
And coming that, so how was it? Because from technology, generally, how was, so if so much was there, why go coming into this mad world of paras?
So I'll be honest with you. I had a wonderful time sitting in Signals, intercepting, blah blah blah, electronic warfare, the big level game and stuff. But every day in Rajouri, every day I used to hear those gunshots outside, and I realized that the real shit is happening outside. And to my luck, I happened to meet, and where I was in a very strategic point where anybody who had to go up and down, you know where I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Up and down had to transit through that place. And to my luck, I happened to meet a few people from 9. And I looked at these guys and I'm like, dude, there is the entire world around me. Everybody's busy. And there are these buggers. They don't fit. They are such a misfit. It's like they stand out. You look from any angle, they just stand out. They just don't follow the protocol. Then I'm like wondering, who the hell are these guys? Let me go and talk to them. And I went and talked to them and I realized, oh, no. I don't want to be doing all this stuff. I want to be out here. Yeah. And my heart was yearning for it. It wasn't an easy thing because you know how it is when you join a unit. You are a part of a family. You are a family member. And suddenly when I brought up the idea that I want to abandon my existing family and I want to move out. Those times it was already declared, all that stuff was going on. And as such, you have a huge dearth of resources and officers in a situation like that. And when you get an officer, letting go of an officer is very hard for the CEO and the family as such. And the family wasn't very taking it in the nice way. They were pretty much, the difficulties that happens. So it wasn't a very encouraging that I wanted to move out.
There is a question. No. There is a question. I just sorry to interrupt you. How did you convince your parents to join, Para SF?
So my parents also doesn't know. They are behind that door. So what the reality happened? The reality happened is I didn't tell my parents anything. So what I told my parents is that my parents kind of had an idea because sometime that I was safe within some environment, so-called. Though I was sitting in the really hot zone, I was like, mom and dad, I'm pretty safe and stuff. But when I wanted to go, I did not really tell them. I told them I was in the front, right? You know where I was. So I was in the front, right in the front, physically in the location. So I said, I'm going back, which is far away from the front. So it's a pretty nice place. So my pitch was, I am far away from the hot spot. Like, you're going back. You have a wall. I'm manning the wall. I'm the security right here. But I'm going behind. And it's a pretty nice place. It's behind. And they didn't know that. And I did not tell them what my unit was, what mine was, because that's not going to set well. Well, let's be very clear. But interestingly, I had a neighbor who I met in Baramulla while I was there. And I bumped into him. And he was posted there. And that colonel, he was my neighbor. And I met him there. And I kind of met him out of courtesy. And when I met him, I was out there for some work. And, whatever stuff. So I paid a visit to him. And I said, hi, and stuff. He came on leave. And he went and told my parents that, hey, I met him and blah, blah, blah. Oh, he moved from signals. He's in 9. And he goes on to narrate what 9 is. And that was pretty bad. Because I remember my mother had this varicose vein too. She can barely stand. And I recollect my mom used to go to church almost every day. And she used to be kneeling and praying. Because I don't know what it got into my neighbor's mind. Perhaps out of pride or something, he said that. That is something I never wanted to discuss back home. What we do and stuff and all. But he was super excited, and he was from Para EME. He was super excited, and he went and gave it a download. So, my mother couldn't breathe after that.
So how was you landed on the gates of 9 there for the probation, and like I remember how I was in Srinagar transit camp when one of my unit senior was there. He had come for some work in Srinagar, and he was also there. He came to know from the person at the reception. I'm forgetting that guy name who knows each and everyone. He said that he had told that sir, a youngster is from battalion, a probationer is there, kind of somebody informed. He came out looking, and मेरा तो वहीं से चालू हो गया था. So how was your experience when you landed on the gates of 9 for the probation?
You remember our old trunks, the big trunks, metal trunks, yeah? And you remember the bedding, that very heavy bedding? Yeah. Those two things are enough to kill a person. Okay? Yeah. I landed in the transit camp, and I was one day earlier. So I didn't know what the hell to do, so I called up the adjutant. I told him, who later was my team commander.
Wow. Oh, adjutant को call. Wow.
I called up the adjutant from the transit camp and said, sir, मैं आ गया transit camp में, okay? So he told me, अरे great, तू आ जा फिर. So now I didn't know what to do because generally, कहीं पे भी गाड़ी आता है. And where the transit camp is and where my unit is pretty far, right? So I had this bag and baggage in this whole damn trunk. I took it like, in the railway station on my head, and with a full backpack and stuff, I was walking through Northern Command. I hailed a bus, and I somehow managed to reach there. And he saw me, गाड़ी कहाँ है? I said, sir, कौन सा गाड़ी? तूने गाड़ी नहीं मांगा? I said, नहीं sir, मैं सब उठा के लेके आया. He said, you idiot. You should have asked for a vehicle. So I was so scared to ask. Dude, if you don't know, yeah. What kind of crazy people are there back in the battalion, right? So I didn't know that. He said, like, you're an idiot. You should have just asked for a vehicle. And I was like a full-on, pura trunk ye sab utha ke wahan tak pahunch gaya. That night he was pretty kind. He said, "ठीक है, जाओ." But then after that, you know what happened.
Yeah, no. I don't know what happened. I was not in 9. I don't know. I was not in 9. It's better, and I got an opportunity to ask you, and I think so many people are, sticking here just to say, okay, some about your probation. Surely, Jacob said that he never gave up. there was nothing, amazing. He's Jacob is Jacob, but anything about what was that hope which you were holding throughout your probation, or what you said that I still remember, recollect that breath, my last, give my best. But what was that probation time of 6 months? You were there. What was it? Something about your toughest task, your biggest learning, your other probationers together, or your probation officer, or some memories about because it is people don't understand out here that though we easily say probation, they say, and lot many happening. I know I have gone through that hell. You have gone through that hell. Those who are there a part and were part knows what it is. But everybody has got a space, their own. सबकी अपनी कहानी होती है. सबका अपना एक प्रोबेशन का एक there is something which makes you go through that probation.
So there are these unnecessary stories, and there are realities, right? And thankfully for combat units, which are completely involved in combat, have absolute clarity what they are looking for. Absolute clarity what they're looking for. There is no Joker Panthi going on here, which is absolutely crystal clear. So when you reach a place like probation, in a unit like that, one of the first things that you notice is that people are extremely humble, which is contrary to what we as kids. Oh, this is supposed to be whatever it is, right? The reality is it is more than what you hear about. But it is the humility in the soldiers that you see who are so professional and so down to earth, which is very interesting. Nothing can prepare you for probation. Let me not fool you, we don't need to fool anyone. Nothing in the world can prepare you for probation. The reason is probation is not like your 10 standard test or something. It is not. Probation morphs around you, who you are. So if you are an input into the battalion for a probation, you are going to receive certain output. That is how you're going to get tested. They are looking only for one and one thing. Are you worthy to walk together? Will you stand by? Will you give up everything in your interest for the purpose of one and one thing only, the battalion and the task it has been designated to accomplish? One of the major aspects that I can tell is, many people would have spoken about what probation is and how blah, blah, blah. We will come to that if need be. But one of the major aspects is that as a special forces operator, it is important that you stay away from getting injured. The reason being, you're always in places where resources are very little, and so is help, or so is back. When a few people are chosen to go and execute something, if one gets decommissioned by just twisting an ankle because you just didn't learn how to walk properly on an upslope or a downslope or to an uneven terrain, then you become a liability. So as much as learning to fight, it is important that every operative ensures that they stay safe and they're able to protect themselves. Probation is also very interesting. Guys, it is not like, they just put you into some fire or anything, right? It's similar to academy. They're not lunatics. Everything that you do is to build you up. They are giving you an equal opportunity. If they have selected you, if they have called you for the probation, they are going to give you an equal chance. They're going to give you an equal chance where your fitness is going to be measured. Does it compare with what is the requisite standard? Some can be super stud, some can be whatever, but there is a sweet spot that you need to achieve. And being a team player, so they will train you, they will build you up, they will give you every opportunity, but at the same time, they will brutally see through your soul. You can't fool them. You can't fool them.
I'm telling you, in my probation, you if you remember, before passing out in the officers cadet basketball match which was there in academy, I twisted my ankle. If you remember, I twisted my ankle and I already opted. And whatever time we got in the break, 14 days of casual leave before joining battalion, my battalion was in field. my ankle was, I was not in good shape. And then it was a high altitude and all the probation stuff was going on there. You are right. I, in my first 5K run, initial 5K run, I failed miserably. I, in half 2.5 kilometers, I puked because I could not, because I was not acclimatized. My ankle was paining like hell and everything. But it was in that first time when it was giving me a go ahead. I did not. My RMO knew, my CO knew that this is high LT. He cannot make it. But they look for something different, guys. It is not about, they make you. Everything is tested. Everything there is for a reason.
Absolutely.
You won't believe in my provision, people are asking a funny thing, and then I realize, okay, now when I look back, I see everything got a reason. So this was my unit 2IC had come to the regimental headquarters that time, and so sir asked me, okay, he was a big fan of that singer. Look, I'm not good in pronouncing names. Kylie Minogue, how you say it?
I think Kylie Minogue. I think you're right.
Yeah, Kylie
You remember
Minogue.
these things, Thakur. We always remember these things.
So what happened? What happened? He asked me, "Do you know song?" I said, "No, sir, I don't know the song." It was snowing heavily outside. It was snowing fucking heavily, and we were in the dhok. And he said, "You can. I need to hear a song of her." I said, "Who? Kylie Minogue, yaar. You don't. You can know what I had gone through that time. I was going through that time." So he asked me, "You sing a song?" I said, "No, I cannot sing a song." Okay, then what he did is he picked that newspaper, Times of India, old Sunday Times. The Kylie Minogue picture was there. He had shown me, "Look, this is Kylie Minogue, fucker. Now, if you cannot sing, just go and make a snow statue of her." And it was snowing. It was already 5 to 6 feet of snow, and I was out and making not a snowman, Kylie Minogue. With that big image in my mind that I have to make Kylie Minogue, and whole night I was made to complete that Kylie Minogue, and it was what I made was a she woman. And he came next day morning. He said, "Did you complete?" First of all, so what are you doing? I'm sir, I just completed my. So really, you were making it? I said, "You were making it? Did you make it?" I said, "Yes." So that was one of the funniest thing. But I realized that, okay, he made sure that perseverance, not giving up, and taking everything as a challenge, enjoying it, coming out live. He was the first one to, guys, unofficially quoting, "Please don't try, don't do." Albert will never, Albert will kill me why you are saying these things. But he made me eat glass. First time, he gave me a drink. He said, "Drink it." I finished the drink in one gulp. I was a non-drinker. And then he was looking at me. I was looking, "Sir, finish." "No, you are not finished, guy." And then, what? "Come on, eat it." And I was shocked to hell. And he said, "Eat it?" "Yeah, eat it. You also know what I'm saying." So I was clueless what he's saying. I looked left and my mess havaldar was there. He said, just like this. And then I realized that I had to eat it. So guys, please don't do it home. All stories would have, Albert would have never told them. And I am sure what he's. So, and everyone has got that experience. And if I remember, guys, also, if we will disconnect, we will connect again, because I think so we are running short, and lot still left. And don't leave, because I remember, Al, when we met in Delhi, that was the time when we met. And before that, I have heard lot many things about, one of the operations, the back operation, which was there in the valley, what you had, guys, you and your team had gone. I know something which was there in news, but not many things were there. And now people are saying not many things about operations and all. So, anything?
Really?
I know you were there.
I have no clue, bro.
Don't tell
This
me.
kind of stuff. I have a very bad amnesia on these issues. I just don't remember them. It's been designed. So it doesn't matter what is not. One of the things I learned walking in there is you feel like a small grain of sand, and this is what the takeaway is for people who are here. I walked into that battalion with absolutely no clue of what the hell it is, and so is other battalions of the army. Everything has a rich history. I can only speak about my battalion. I realized that people there have seen things that we can't even think of or dream of. People so great, my seniors, my colleagues who were there, and also people who were junior to us from a paratrooper level, who have seen so much, yet nothing has changed in their life. And that's so funny. And I see other people talk about, small things, and they're this, like they have this all around and going on. These guys have so much of stories to not even say a word, single word. I remember one thing. Uh, at a certain time, I had just been born into the battalion, and I was in a certain place with another senior subaltern of ours. And it's perhaps one of the first times we were moving in during our time after probation, or rather during probation. And there was a certain operation going on in Valley, and my senior was super excited, and we were getting picked up from the transit camp. It was pretty dark by the time we reached, and we were sitting in the behind the gypsy, and the senior, this JCO was pretty hardcore, one of those guys. And my senior subaltern, I was keeping quiet and I was sitting there, and my senior subaltern said, "Saab, hame wahan pe leke jao, contact." So he said one thing, which always stayed with me. He said, "Saab, take a chill. Go, there is warm water. Take a shower, have a nice sleep. You've come to 9 para. You've come to 9 para. This is all you're going to see. Your bed, you can go back to." We were living in a dilapidated place back then in Valley. Some place we occupied for the job. And he said, garam pani, wo karo, nao, so jao, khana khao, so jao. We've come to 9 para. This is all you're going to see. We don't have to hurry. Jo hona hone do. And that is so true. That is so true.
Yeah. So how do you like? I think so, because you coming from signals, you coming in as with a signals background, a technical, you bring us, you become a force multiplier, especially when it comes to communication technology. And I'm not saying that you are the only one. There are been many people who are best of the best even it comes to signals, and they will be at par with you, or I will say more than expert with you. But how this communication happens, even in these buggers, these assholes also talking and all, communicating. So what? How something where giving about touching the
So,
surface
brother,
kind of a thing.
yeah, touching with the surface kind of things that uh, time has made them evolve too. Number one, when you try to find something to intercept something, the person who's running the conversation on that channel finds another way. So back in the days, there wasn't much of cell phones. There were most of radios and stuff, and technologies existed to understand, capture, listen, both parties do that, right? And figure out where these conversations are and all that stuff. So it's a basic old school technology. But as time progresses, it's not about interception or anything. It moves into a domain of encryption, and encryption to smarter levels. So it is okay. I tap into this conversation, for example, but if it is encrypted, then it is a different story, right? But now the encryption is also getting smarter and smarter.
Yeah. And 2 minutes left. If we break, we will connect again, just to remind. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, all right. We do that.
To others also. Yeah.
So one of the things is that if you don't understand technology, then you might still fight like old warriors. So every special force in the world is perhaps spearheading every possible manner to bring in as much technology as possible. And that does not mean that has to come within a unit. It can come within pioneering scientists to pioneering technology developers out there collaborating with special forces. You look at cutting edge technologies that exist there, most of the technology that would have been something that is for the military that trickles down into the civil world. So whether it is communication technology, whether it's encryption, whether it's weapons, whether it's navigation, all these things stem out. The GPS is a good example, all of us know.
Yeah.
So
I
drone
do
technology,
agree.
yeah.
I remember